Well, after Rihanna did the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Chris Brown actually congratulated her
Yeah.
online, and then people started like hitting him, with questions that he started to answer, and they said, "Hey, when are you going to perform at the Super Bowl?"
Right.
And he said, "Never." He said, "Look, I don't mess with the U.S. media; just doesn't fuck with me. I don't think I'll ever get to perform." And he's overseas right now doing stadiums
Shout out to
and
Chris
shit
Brown.
like that.
That's my
And he
guy.
also kind of brought up the whole double standard. He brought up all these celebrities that were
Yeah, I
involved
see.
in
I see.
domestic violence, and he's like, I'm still getting crucified over this, and these guys went on and had a great career. Do you think there's a double standard when it comes to Chris Brown?
I think so. I think people just love ignorance. Like, I just think people love ignorance. Like, as for Chris Brown, shout to Anthony Ladies Man. I like to stay out of people's business. But for me, the way I see it is when he mentioned, Blueface and
Right.
Christina and all the fighting stuff, people love that shit, man.
Yeah, Blueface
Let's act like we don't watch the shit too.
Well, Blueface
what I'm
actually
saying?
had a real interesting response.
No, I know I've seen all that. And
he said the problem with Chris is that he beat up America's sweetheart. He said if you just beat up some hood chick, no one would care.
I mean,
that was Blueface's
that's kind of
response.
crazy to say. I don't want to say. But what I'm saying to you, look, all I can say is when you're a superstar, you're public property. Chris Brown is a good guy. Anthony Ladies Man, shout to him. I stay out of everybody's business. But my whole thing is you're just public property. So whatever you do, people are going to pick and choose and crucify. Is one of the best artists in the world, Chris Brown? Yes. People was comparing him to Michael Jackson at a point.
I think you can still compare him to Michael Jackson. I think if it wasn't
if
for
it was
that,
a Super Bowl show to see, I would want to see that.
Man, listen, if you take the Rihanna situation out of Chris Brown's history, and honestly, it was really the photo. Once the photo came out, that's what's sticking in people's minds to this day, unfortunately.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If there was no photo and it's like, hey, there was some sort of, domestic dispute,
Listen,
but whatever.
anything with domestic violence is going to get crazy. It's going to get sticky. If you put your hands on a woman, how we grew up, you know what I'm saying? Old school, never put your hands on a woman.
Right.
Sometimes, mistakes happen. Everybody makes mistakes. That's all I can say. I don't like to talk on people's situations. I just know they're two iconic artists, and people, you know how the internet is. Nobody gets. They get everybody.
Chris Brown would absolutely be doing the Super Bowl if it wasn't for the Rihanna situation.
I mean, maybe he still could.
He still could, maybe.
But if we put this out there, it might stop.
This ain't gonna make a difference, man. I think Vlad TV
nah, Vlad,
determines the Super Bowl.
I was in Canada.
Show.
Look, listen, I was in Canada, and two guys I want to shout out is I always got to shout you out, and I'm gonna shout out Math Hoffa because those were two iconic shows that everywhere I go, everybody talks about Math Hoffa. And they talk about your show. But don't worry about it. I'm about to be bigger than both of y'all, so welcome to the culture.
Oh, good.
Don't worry. I'm going to have the production. I'm going to spend thousands on these cameras. Nah, I just want, I'm only joking with you. I'm watching what you do. I respect
want
both
you to do well. I want Math Hoffa to do well.
For me, it's not a competition.
It's not a competition to me either.
I just like having fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm to a point, like, the realest moment for me and another epiphany in life was talking to K Slay. Rest in peace to K Slay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. Because I was talking to him for days. And then we started texting, right? With text. Last thing is he wanted Tommy from Power. I always remember that. 50, Tommy from Power, told him in the hospital. Communication cut off. A couple of weeks later, he wasn't here.
Yeah.
And now it's like when you look at New York City radio, who's really filling that void? You got Drewski, shout to him. He got all the young drill dudes. But what about the older demographic of rappers that he was messing with, or the rappers he like a AZ or this dude, or me, or he got the 100 MCs joint. I got on that. When K Slay give you that call, it's like you can't say no.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But to me, that was an epiphany for me in life. Like, just live life, do what you got to do. Look at K, miss that dude. I wish he was still here. Rest in peace, K Slay. Condolences his family. I really miss what he did for me. And I remember when him first messing with G-Unit and always playing my record, me being on Straight Stunt magazine. Yayo, you got to get this cover. Yayo, I'm telling you, Yayo, don't play with me. Like, that was really the big homie. And as well as what he did for everybody. Motherfuckers from the West Coast, Whack 100, everybody. Like, everybody loved K Slay. He was like the mediator to a lot of shit. And I miss that guy. But for me, that was a life-changing moment. So I'm like, you know what? You never know what could happen. Tomorrow's not promised. Just do everything you want to do and live life, man.